Hello and welcome, my name is Matt and this is a bit of a video on a little first aid kit that I've been carrying around in my backpack for a while. It's just my little everyday carry kit. So what I'll do now is bring it up on screen. So, yeah, here we can see this is the kit. I'm not sure where I got it from originally. I think it might have come from somebody gave it to me or something. But yeah, so this is the little bag. Pocketable. Changed a bit over the years. It probably needs to be gone through and readdressed, but we will see. Take a look at it. The contents. So, first of all, your wet gauze bandage, conforming bandage, and I think there's a little wound dressing in here. So, I mean, I think this is the original one that came in it, and I only just put that back in it. For a long time, it had just the might even have both of these bandages might have been a fairly new edition, I can't remember. Anyway, they're in there now as like a not super severe but beyond a band-aid kind of emergency. A couple of butter menthols just for sore throats and whatnot. Pretty handy these days having a little hand sanitizer with you at all times. And looks like we've got some various alcohol wipes and Medi-Swab kind of things. That's a plastic bag. I think that had Panadol in it, but I chucked the Panadol out because it was well and truly expired. There's some plastic bags just for plastic bag reasons. Need a plastic bag, chop your finger off or something. Bit of tape. Bit of medical tape's always handy to tape yourself up. Of course, so is a couple of pairs of latex or surgical gloves. They look like they're probably actual latex ones as opposed to vinyl or whatever they are these days. And a little notepad for writing things, and with that get a Sharpie. Is there a... There used to be a pencil in it, I think, but it was also like a little IKEA kind of pencil, but there's no in there anymore. Here are some splinter needles. Definitely not sterile anymore. They've been in here for a while. At some point I should probably get myself a new pack of them. What we might do is get rid of my face for a minute because we're kind of impinging on some of the space. Chapstick. It's not something I'd use a whole lot, but sometimes you need some. Yeah. Anyway. And here are a couple of safety pins. Again, kind of general purpose, probably not real safety pin. Safety pins probably aren't the most first aidy kind of thing, but they're in there. I can't remember if they were something that I added or not, but yeah. What else have we got in here? just a closed up razor blade, like a scalpel razor blade, in case you need to cut something or something. And let's try to leave that room there for that. And then we have first aid mask. It's probably worth having this a bit more easily accessible. Again, I don't even know if this is really particularly helpful. It's been in this kit for so long, it might have actually kind of decayed. At some point I really need to replace a lot of the stuff in here. But also a couple of non-absorbent bandage, kind of, what do you call them, wound dressings. Again, yeah, expiry date wise, they're not the greatest. But expiry dates on things aren't on things like this. You're not in a sterile environment, you're not in a hospital anyway, so generally once you patch yourself up is serious enough to need some of this stuff, you probably want to see a doctor or go to the hospital afterwards anyway. So this is what is in my kit. Oh, of course, last thing, band-aids. Always need band-aids. Yeah, good to have around if you cut yourself when somebody else around you cuts themselves, not, is what I meant to say. So this is my quick little kind of first aid everyday carry. Not really a survival kit, so it's just a everyday carry kind of first aid kit basically. Probably should put something like maybe a disposable mask or something in here these days. This kit here, I guess it yeah, needs a bit of an update. Needs some new stuff, like I need to put some new like Panadol and stuff in here. Things like the tape, yeah, it's still fine. It's a bit grotty from kicking around in the case for so long. This kit did used to have like a little pair of like a little Swiss Army knife, kind of was a knockoff version. It had a little pair of scissors and stuff, like probably would have had scissors, tweezers, maybe a short knife, kind of one of the really little ones. Not sure where that ended up, because it's probably handy having in a kit like this, really. Because if otherwise you need to cut something, like you need to cut some of the dressing or something, having some little mini scissors in there is usually a good idea. But yeah, so that is my kit. What I'm gonna do now is start putting it back together. Try to get everything back in it. Okay. Try to do it so it's. Yeah, sorry if I just cracked the microphone there. But what I have, I think the dressings and stuff in this little kind of pouch. It's like a little plastic. Probably can't see that very well. I did have like a little light that was way too bright to be particularly helpful, but yeah, you can see in there's a little pouch. Turn that off. Likewise, this is literally just using my overhead light. It's fairly bright, but as you can see, it's not the greatest because it's coming straight down. So anyway, back to it. The wound dressings and the band-aids in there first. What else came out? I think this face shield came out. Like CPR face shields. It's one of those things I think a lot of first aid people. I think the kind of preferred first aid is these days is like first level first aid is you don't even bother with the breaths. I think is the technique. You just do compressions, and the active compressions usually squeezes enough air through the lungs for the amount of circulation you're creating. Anyway, what else could we put in there? Chuck the bags back in, chuck the gloves back in. Okay, you can probably tuck up the front. So yeah, need to get some more painkillers for this little kit. And as I said, in COVID days, you pretty much need a bottle of this stuff with you all the time now, don't you? Chapstick, it's in there because that's in there. If it has an expiry date, it's probably expired years ago. But it can stay in there for now. I think they were good. I think these butter menthols were fairly recent. Little scalpel for, I don't know, get a skin flap or something you need to cut off. Yeah, need to get some more of these kind of things as well. I guess you could, not as good as proper sterile, but if you need to, you got the Dettol to clean things before you start digging out splinters. That's the word I'm looking for. Put these little, you could also just use safety pins for a splinter pick really. And get some of the alcohol wipes if you need to clean an area or wipe something down. Get the Sharpie. Little paper, that's for making notes. I think one of the ideas behind like a Sharpie, and I don't know, you need to leave notes, notes somewhere, or you can write on your hands or write on most things with a Sharpie. This one's a nice little short one. And yeah, so one wound dressing. These are pretty cool. They're like a bandage and a dressing in one. Kind of like a more basic version of an Israeli bandage or something, I guess. But like the Israelis have the things you can tighten up your wounds and stuff, use it as almost as a tourniquet and stuff. Anyway, that's like but this is nothing like that. It's literally just like a bandage with some cotton dressing, I think. I do need to buy some more of those. That's just a little conforming bandage if you don't want to wrap around something. Also use it as some kind of wound packing or something, and then put the other bandage around it and some tape if you need to tape them off, or I don't know, you hurt your finger, you need to make a splint or something. That stuff with tape's probably handy. Then it zips up, theoretically it zips up, it was zipped up before, so it should zip up again. That is my little bag. So there we go, that's the little bag, little EDC First Aid Kit that I have. Yeah, it usually goes in my backpack. Used to go, this is a different backpack, but my old backpack used to have a pocket either side, but that I could just kind of, little mesh pocket that used to live in, so not really living in my bag at the moment. I need to work out a way to convenient place to put it back in, but yeah, well, that's basically all I had here to show today, so I might leave it here My name has been and still is Matt. I will see you later, and we'll catch you next time.